You are looking live at the Nasdaq on what is it? Wednesday, June 12th, hump day. And it was a significant day today, not because the Nasdaq was up 265 points or 1.53% and made a new high and closed at an all-time high of 17,608. But the Nasdaq did not really listen to Jerome Powell much at all today. This is when the news came out. What are we talking about here? 2 o'clock? Let's go back a little bit here. There it is, 2 o'clock, 2:20. Okay, 2 o'clock. Okay, it dipped a little bit, came down a little bit, then soared higher, then came down, but it wasn't really that volatile like normally when Powell speaks. It either makes a big, huge 1 or 2% move lower or 1 or 2% move higher. It just went about its business today and moving higher. You can see the gap up in the morning on the CPI data, and it just kind of cruised, around 300 points all day. And then at the end, there was some profit taken and it closed up 265 points. So a good day for the NASDAQ, all-time high, all-time closing high. There's nothing more bullish than, a stock or an index making new highs. Anyway, I just wanted to point out, and I did so on Twitter today and got a little bit of backlash, but that's okay. The NASDAQ at one point in the session was 8% above its 50. Once again, let me repeat that. At one point during the session, it was 8% above the 50. It closed at 7.4% above the 50. Now it's getting up, towards the upper ends of this channel here, which is okay. It could go sideways because this 50's going up, right? It's a rising 50, a rising 21, and a rising 10. But it's probably going to, it could go up to 8, 9, or even 10% above the 50, the rising 50. But typically we know that it's going to come back a little bit towards the 50 and get back under that 6%. Maybe not this week, but next week. And we're just in a power trend. It's a special time. It's time to step on the gas, take advantage of this situation. I believe we're at the beginning of a long-term bull market uptrend. So we're going to have, several of these power trends, and then we're going to have several of these pullbacks. But we need to really step on the gas when we're in these uptrends and, kind of take our foot off the gas when it pulls back like that. Anyway, good day for the NASDAQ, precipitated by the CPI data and inflation's coming down, I guess. Certainly doesn't feel like when you go to the store. Anyway, I do want to point out that even though the NASDAQ was up 1.53%, the Russell 2000 was up 1.62%, so it outperformed it a little bit. This is what we want to see, is the branching out of the rally, away from the mega cap stocks, away from, there's always going to be leaders in semiconductors, in software, but we want to see it spread out to different groups and different size stocks. And the small caps was the leading index today of the Russell 2000. And then the S&P had a nice day today, all-time closing high. You see the gap higher. This is textbook here on the S&P. This looks fantastic. The pullback, little cup, then with the handle here back to the 50 and now just ripping higher. That is textbook stuff. I hope I don't sound too bullish because I don't want to be too exuberant, because I know that, the market gives and the market taketh away. So, I trimmed some stocks today as they approach, and I'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, I want to take a look at some of the stocks that were, kind of the leading stocks. First, I'll start with the mega cap technology stocks, the $3 trillion club. This is Apple. They had their WWDC a conference on Monday, and it was, sell the news, it was buy the rumor here, ramped up to the event, sold off on Monday, but the last 2 days, man, this thing's powering up with volume. I was surprised. It was more volume today than yesterday, which I think is probably a little bit of short covering. Some people got caught on the wrong side of the trade. Yeah, that's a big cap tech stock moving up nearly 3%. It did hit 220 today and then just pulled back into the close. If we look at the close here on the 5-minute chart, it just buyers all day. And then, some profit taking into the close. to be expected. But the measured move, I believe, you know, I would call this 200 here. You know, what is it? 199.62. We'll call it 200. You know, I figure about a 20% move. It's already gone up, what, 10% from 200 to 220. I believe that, you know, if you give it some time, it's going to eventually gradually move higher. That would be my experience in a leading stock in an uptrending market after the breakout. So anyway, I do expect Apple to trade higher. The other one is Mr. Softy. This one is, you know, the software names got a little bit of a boost from Oracle yesterday. I'll get into that in a minute. But this one had that buy point at 430, and I didn't put it on my ready list. You know, I saw it, but I kind of limiting my focus list here this week. But it did break higher, up nearly 2%. Now it's at 441, so it's up $10 from the you know, a 430 area. And this one should trend higher as well. Once it breaks out, starting to push away from its base there. Still actionable for sure. And then NVIDIA, I got to go to the semiconductor stocks because semiconductors are the leaders. This one is just, you know, this one is showing tremendous strength here. You know, it didn't even pull back after the 10-for-1 split. It didn't even pull back to the 10 EMA. If I can go here, if you will indulge me for a moment, to the 8 EMA. A lot of people use the 8 EMA and the 5 EMA to trade, and it's getting support at the 8. You can see it here, and you can see it here. And so, you know, I would expect maybe it'll trade higher, but eventually it'll come back to that 8. Anyway, I use the 10, you know, use whatever works for you. The 8's a little faster, you know, for more momentum stocks, but, you know, I use the 10, so whatever. Anyway, that was, okay, I'll go to the software and the semiconductor names first, I guess. We'll start off with Oracle because they had the big report last night and the stock was rewarded today and then some, up 13%. You know, that's a move not to be ignored. This is a big company with a 13% move with that kind of volume. You know, this is just the beginning, in my opinion, of the, you know, the emergence of the AI. You know, this is our 1995 moment, when the internet, you know, started getting big and the stocks really rallied hard. So yeah, we're looking at the roaring 20s here, and I think this is going to last for a few years. Oracle breaking out, man, that is a thing of beauty, and it carried over to some of the other names here, not CRM. CRM, they had a poor report, trading below the 200. Yeah, and this is a Dow Jones component as well, but these guys can't get out of the way their own way. But ServiceNow is one that you know, benefited from the Oracle report. You can see it undercut its 200 and now rallied back above, and it's finding resistance there at the 50. But it was up, you know, 1.3% today. Another one of these AI components. Elastic, this one I really should have on my my ready list at 111.65. You can see it broke above its downtrend line here. You know, 3 touches is a downtrend line, and it broke above it on this day here last week. And this is when I really should have had it on, but it's starting to push away now. But yeah, 113.73 was the high there on that day, which was June 6th, which is what, last Thursday. So anyway, you know, formed a little 3-day little shelf there, pulled back to the 8, and now blasted higher. Elastic looks fantastic. Anyway, that's it for the software name. Nope, I got one more. ZETA, we see this a lot here where they gap up on earnings and make a new high, then pull back to the 21 and then find support. Now today blasted up 5.3%. So ZETA looks good as well. Okay, now I mentioned the semiconductor names, LRCX. I'm a little dyslexic here today. Lam Research. This is one that, you know, certainly could be on the ready list. I left it off because I'm trying to limit but you're seeing a lot of these breaking out here. Still actionable around that 1,000 level, and looking good. Applied Materials, you know, these are making new highs, and new highs are bullish. New highs begets more new highs. And this is Applied Materials, broke out, pulled back to the 50. Now it's just ripping higher. It's incredible strength here in these semiconductor names. Taiwan Semiconductor, another one making a new high today, along with NVDA and, I'm going to get to more of them, but, the equipment makers and, I haven't looked at ASML. How's this one doing? Yeah, this one's right near a buy point too of 1056. I kind of like that one. And I'll put that on the ready list because it looks ready to me. Doesn't look ready to you. ASML. Anyway, that looks good. Let me see. I'm going to move on from. Oh yeah, I've got to go to the hardware names. I do have these on my ready list this week, and these are busting out hard. This is Micron. I own this one, and I trimmed some stocks today, but I didn't trim this one because this one's just starting to break out of a base, and I believe from that 130 area, you're going to get at least 10 to 15% move, probably 20. 20% move would be what? $26, so 56, maybe 156. So anyway, it's just starting to break out. And I think it's got more room to run. Western Digital, another one that is on our ready list. Still actionable, but pushing away from its base here. This one's very strong. Pure Storage was downgraded today. It doesn't care. It still went higher. It was down in the morning. You can see if I go to the 5-minute chart here. Yeah, in the morning it gapped lower and traded lower, 1%, 1.5%. That's okay. Down to what was the low of the session today? Come on. 64.98, closed at 66.89, so that's a good trade. Yeah, I mean, it was a Morgan Stanley, I believe it was, downgraded the stock, then raised the price target, which is a CYA, cover your ass type of a downgrade. And the other one, STX, is Seagate making new highs. This one could easily been on the ready list as well. Still actionable near that buy point, but pushing away from its base. And then the last one in this group is NetApp making new highs. This one is the Kelly Slater of the group, just surfing its 10 EMA, looking beautiful. And anyway, I'm going to move on from that group and go to the retail names. I like the retail names, and there's really some new interesting trends in the market here. This is Shark Ninja, and they have the the blenders, the cookingware, the vacuum cleaners. They just got a lot of different products. It's pretty popular. And this one is just, it broke out of the base here and it's just surfing its 21 here. Beautiful, trending higher. Finally went flat, little flat base pattern there, pull back to the 21. And this one looks fantastic. Shark Ninja Bros. Somebody pointed out to me the difference between Bros and Starbucks, if you will. Anyway, Bros made a new high today. I got time. I can do this. Bros and Starbucks. I'm going to do the comparison chart. You can see that over the last year, 37%. You could also do it with Nike and Abercrombie and Fitch, right? I mean, Abercrombie's up 460%. There's just new trends. The restaurant group with Bros and with Kava and with Sweet Greens, just killing stuff like McDonald's and Starbucks. Out with the old and in with the new. You could even do it with like Deckers, and what's the other one? Lululemon's just dying on the vine here, down 15% in the past year. Crocs, doing fantastic. Anyway, those are the trends in dining. You could go Wingstop. People are going to Wingstop, right? Yeah, I mean, so I just noticed these trends. This is not dumb luck. I believe it's going to last a long time. I think Bros is just emerging from a stage 1 base, and their earnings line and the breakout. This thing looks fantastic. 2% off of its high, which it made today. 5% this week. I mean, what's not to like? Anyway, I'm gonna move on. I did mention Abercrombie and Fitch. Just surfing its moving averages. Once again, it finally consolidated here from March 5th to this date where it broke out May 20th. So it's been 3 weeks of just grinding higher. Abercrombie and Fitch looks fantastic. How does that look on a weekly chart? Yeah, there's your consolidation and just trading higher. Earnings line heading north, and the stock is following along. So it's amazing how that happens. Got to have some earnings, folks. Oh, Elf Beauty is another one, that's replacing Estee Lauder. This one, I talked to some members of the, subscribe to MC stock charts, and they said, yeah, I'm going to buy it under a 180. I believe it was last week. Maybe it was Friday. Yeah, traded down to 177. That's a buy, not a sell. And this week, these 3 days, it's been up. I think it's going to have trouble at the 200 level and its resistance. So I sold a little bit. I trimmed some of this one because I think it needs to handle out. It's going to have some resistance at 200, and I can always buy it back. If I'm wrong and if it starts ripping higher back up to that 220, but you could see the 14 weeks base. It looks good to me. I know a lot of people want to complain about ELF, but it looks good to me. I mean, 71%. Sales growth. I don't know if they're going to continue that, but even if it's 40 or 50, they've got sales and earnings that I like. I did mention CROX, so I got to show you CROX. CROX made a new high today and, broke out of the base, ran up, then pulled back to the 21, found support, and now it's trading higher. Second mouse gets the cheese, right? I mean, if you bought the breakout, then you got sold on the fake out, and then you didn't buy it back, then you lose out on this big move here this week for CROX, which is up 7-11. Very nice move for CROX. And the last one I wanted to show, well, a couple. Cocoa looks good. I should have had this on my ready list. I'm mad at myself. Big move today. Nice move this week. Beta Cocoa. Still, you can see consolidating in a base, way below the standard buy point at 33, but up 9% this week. Looks good. And then Celsius is just falling out of favor, big time selling below the 200. And this is what I'm talking, when I noticed this, the stock still went up after earnings, but, went from 104 to 95 to 37. That is real severe deceleration of the sales growth. So what's it going to be next quarter? 25, 20, 15? So Wall Street's just going to shoot first and ask questions later. They might come in next quarter to 50%, and the stock might, ignite and re-rally again. But for now, this thing's out of favor. It's an avoid. You got to stay away. And then I did mention, the losers here. Nike, that just looks pathetic, horrible. Stay away. Starbucks, stay away. Lululemon, too much competition. The consumer's going elsewhere, and the market wants new merchandise, and they're getting it with, Sweet Green and Kava and Bros. And so just recognize these trends and stick with the winners. I know the market was up a lot today, but there's still a lot of stocks that were down. So you got to select the winning stocks. I think I have 12 stocks on my ready list. One's going to be a bum, but we got, 10 or 11 others that are doing well. So if you pick the bum, sell it and buy a winner. If your stock was not up today and it was selling off, it had to do something like CrowdStrike, where it's been up a lot. Heck, Crowd is even up today and pull back a little bit, or Lilly. And even this one was up, but stocks that run up a lot can pull back. But if your stock is lagging, you need to reassess and get into some of these winning stocks. Okay, I'm going to go to the crypto names. Coinbase, yeah, I'm getting into the crypto stock. Why? Because they look good. Coin is on our ready list, and this is, your classic shakeout here. You can see it's still forming the right side of its base, but I like to get in early. I'm not going to wait till it starts making new highs. And every time it pulls back here to the 21, it finds support. So to me, those are points of entry for Coinbase. What was the other one? IREN. This one, it says finance services, but it's got an energy component. It's Iris Energy, and it's got a Bitcoin component. You can just see the oh wow, it's up nearly 10% today. The big volume coming in on Iris. Nice close on this one. Yeah, 90% of the daily range. Big volume there. 37 million shares. Yeah, I don't think this thing's going to be trading at 13 for long. Just looking at this, this base or this IPO base. What was it, 28? Yeah. Yeah, I think this one's got 15 or 18 or 20 written all over it. Anyway, what's the other one? Oh, Hood. Another crypto name that I like, you can see this one broke out. The way I had this on our ready list, I had to take it off. It's extended from its base. And people ask me, what's extended? Well, every stock is different. Some stocks like to trade, well above their 10 EMA, and others, they pull back to it. And this one keeps pulling back. So as long as it's, what is it, 6.3% above the 10, to me, that's extended. If I can get it closer to the 10, I'll buy it. I'll take a swing at it. But I don't want to buy something up that much. Anyway, each stock has its own character, so you can't just say a certain calculus is extended. Like I do with the Nasdaq at 6% above its 50. MSTR is another one. It's just setting up in a base here. This really should be on our ready list as well. Up 48 points today, or 3.1%. Trading above its moving averages. Closed at the low end of its range, but near its 10 EMA. So, it's right at its 10 EMA. So I kind of like that one. That one may appear on our list as well. So I got ASML and MicroStrategy to add. All right. I want to go to, where am I going to? Oh, drugs. I've got to go to the drug stocks, the drugstore. UTHR, United Therapeutics, with the new 52-week high today. Just, there's a lot of stocks that are showing strength. This is just another one. Extended a little bit, though. You can see it bounced off its 21. This is HIMSS, again, extended, just making new highs. I'm just showing you these for observation purposes. This is another one where if you, have a moving average, you're one of these people who like to use the 8 EMA, you could buy this off the 8 because it keeps bouncing off the 8 here, as I just changed that moving average to 8 EMA. And so that's like, what was the other stock? NVDA, I believe. Yeah, bouncing off the 8 EMA. So, if you use that moving average, you can definitely, I could see it with my eye that this thing's, bouncing off the 8, not coming down to the 10, which is a sign of strength. Very strong stock, but I can't buy it way up here. Sorry. So I went to HIMSS. Oh, another one that, I usually don't show these, under $10 names, but I cannot help myself with this one. This is looking very strong, up another 4% today. That's CRDL Therapeutics. Okay, let's go to one of these more high-priced stocks. Regeneron. This one needs the 10-for-1 stock split. Anyway, setting up in this base cup with handle. Now it's pushing away from its base. Another one that I contemplated on having on our ready list this week, but I left it off. I try to mix it up with financials and oil and gas because you never know where the market's going to rotate to, and I don't want to have too many, in one category. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. TGTX. This is one that has got a heavy short interest. It was up, 4% move today. I think it sold off into the close, but yeah, the shorts were just covering all day. There's some profit taking into the close, but TGTX, this is it's a $30 stock, masquerading here at 16. But it's going to need some time. I'm not going to mention Lilly or Novo Nordisk today. Already did mention Lilly. Sorry about that. All right, and then the hospital stocks. THC, what can you say? Breakout. This is why we monitor these breakouts there. The high on April 30th was 112. It closed at 140 today. So this is just a Kelly Slater stock surfing its 10 EMA. That's fantastic strength. I've got over 100 stocks now on my power earnings gap list. I can't even keep track of all of them. I'm not even going to try to. I might do a video this weekend on like the top 20 or something like that. If anybody's interested. HCA. This is another one that is consolidating in a base. Could have had on the ready list. This is a group that's showing strength. Top 20 group, the medical group, hospital essentially. You could see the consolidation pattern, trading near a buy point. HCA is the ticker symbol, and then UHS is another one of these medical hospital stocks that had this cup with handle, broke out. Now it's forming a shelf, and being supported at the 10 EMA. Not all stocks did well today. I could tell you that the bank stocks Wells Fargo, not doing much. JP Morgan down today. Morgan Stanley, the bank's no good. Oxy, the oil and gas stocks did not do well. Chevron. So it's not, you still have to be in a stock picker's market. I showed you Celsius earlier. You think this growth stock's going to roar. So be careful, be selective. Don't just buy any darn thing and expect it to go higher. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, except for I have one more thing. I was going to end there, but I do have one more thing, and that is the earnings report from Broadcom. And this stock is up more than 12% after hours. I believe that type of move will carry the semiconductors tomorrow, which, includes the SMH, if you like buying that, breakout trading higher. But Broadcom, they reported earnings tonight. They had a beat on the top and bottom line. They crushed sales, they crushed earnings. And then they announced a 10-for-1 stock split a la NVIDIA. So it'll be trading about 167, probably 170. I think the split happens in July. I forget the date. But anyway, their purchase of VMware is definitely paying off for them. This stock is just one of the real winners, and I think it is going to carry over. And this will even help stocks like NVIDIA. Yeah, I mean, I think the whole complex, you can see after hours, NVIDIA is up 1%, AMD, I don't know what can help AMD. It's barely up. But yeah, some of these semiconductor names, Taiwan Semiconductor probably up with that news. Yeah, up 1%. So Broadcom is going to carry the day tomorrow for the semiconductors, I believe, at least at the open. We never know how the regular session is going to evolve, but Broadcom, fantastic stock, fantastic report. The AI theme is now starting to gain momentum. We're starting to see it in their balance sheets. It's not just NVIDIA and Microsoft. There's other companies that are definitely seeing the benefits, and you definitely have to be selective. Like I said, continue to say you have to be selective in this market. I'm providing a lot of winning stocks on the ready list, and I like to buy stocks near bases. This was near a base. I just couldn't buy it, ahead of earnings because we've seen a lot of stocks crap out too at earnings time. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. We're in a bull market. Take advantage of it. Step on the gas, whatever analogy you want to use. But it's full throttle, and let's make some money in the markets. Thank you for watching at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up.